Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at the last couple of spark flashlights that we have to look at. The SL6-800CW, SL6-740CW. Pretty much the same flashlight, same as the rest of the spark lights. You have cool white and you have neutral white. And we'll show you the difference between the two when we go outside, and also we'll show them inside as well. So here's the holster. I'm going to set that to the side for just a second. Diffuser lens, set that to the side also. Spare O-rings, and the flashlight itself, and of course you have warranty information, instruction information, always good to look at. One thing that's kind of cool about this is you have output and run times of all the models that they have. So I'll put those O-rings back in, show you the holster real quick. You can put it in either way, the light, whichever you prefer. You can stick it in head first if you want to, or stick it in tail first, however you prefer to stick your light in. I think it's easier to stick it in tail first, but I know some people like to go head first. Nice, thick, sturdy construction on this. You've got this loop on the back so you can attach it to your belt or pack, wherever else you want to attach it. So that's the holster. And you get the same exact accessories on the neutral white version. So what I'm going to do is just pull the flashlight out and leave the rest of the stuff in there. Alright, both of these lights are powered by 18650 batteries. So I've got a couple of the Trustfire 18650s that we use in all our display lights and everything. And we'll go ahead and put them in both of these guys. There you can see inside of the light. Really good construction on these. Spark does a really nice job with the anodizing and machining and everything. They use that same kind of olive color that Zebralight uses on a lot of their stuff. Pretty cool aesthetics on these. I really like the look of them. You have that removable tail clip, which you can pop off if you want to. We'll zoom in real quick so you can see styling a little bit better. As you can see, really nice anodizing and machining. Good laser engraving. I really like the way these look. I think they look pretty cool. And two switches on these. So you have one on the back, one on the side. And the interface on those is going to be different than a lot of the lights that you see with the dual switches. A lot of them you have them on the tail, or one by the tail and one up by the head, and they'll do two different things. One will usually turn the light on, the other one will switch modes. On these lights, they actually do the same exact thing, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Let me show you the LED real quick. You've got that orange peel reflector, pre-XML LED, and this will kind of help you see the difference in the two lights. You've got the neutral white with that more orangish LED color versus the yellower on the cool white. Alright, like I said, same interface on both of these. What you have is two switches, both do the same thing. Switch up by the head, press it, it'll turn the light on. Press and hold, and it'll cycle through 4 different outputs. Now both of these lights actually have 5 different outputs, and the way to get into the last one is to double click. It'll put it into what they call the super mode, which is the max output of the light. Same thing with the switch on the back. Press it, it'll turn it on into the last mode you had it on in. Press and hold, and it'll cycle through those 4 different outputs. Double click, it'll put it into the max output. That was the neutral white. You got the same exact interface on the cool white. So press and hold, and double click. Whoops, did it a little too fast. Actually, I killed the battery. Well, there's a feature for you. If the battery's dead, the light will not turn on. It looks like I'm using half-dead batteries. So we will switch back over to the neutral white. So have it on, press and hold, and it'll cycle through, and then double click to put it into that max output. Alright, I'm going to put a fresh battery in this one, and then we're going to turn the exposure way down just so you can see the difference between the tints on these. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, the exposure is turned way down. We've got both the lights here. Here is the cool white on the left, neutral white on the right. I'll go ahead and put both of them into their lowest output modes. And just so you can see the difference in the tint between the two. So again, cool white, neutral white. You can see a little bit better color rendering on the neutral white. A lot of people prefer that. Some people prefer the higher output of the cool white. Total personal preference thing. I personally prefer cool white for flashlights and neutral white for headlamps, but again, that's totally up to you. And again, these colors are going to be a little bit exaggerated from what you see in real life. I just wanted to kind of illustrate the differences. And you'll see these better when we take them outside you get a better idea of what they can do. Before I go ahead and take these outside, we'll go and show you the diffuser lens real quick while we have the exposure turned down, just so you can see what it does. Go and pull it out. What I did is I just unscrewed the bezel from the cool white version, and then I usually just tap it on a surface to get the default lens out. Put that diffuser lens in there. You can go ahead and already see that it just completely diffuses the light. You can see the difference between the two. And then turn the light on, you see it just totally spreads out the light, so you pretty much lose any kind of hot spot, which I really like. I think it's really useful to have a light like that. It just lights up everything in front of you instead of having a that hot spot there in the center. Really nice for up close kind of stuff, or just lighting up an entire backyard, campsite, anything like that. Alright, let's go ahead and take these outside, and I'll take the diffuser lens as well just so you can see what that does outside. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are outside with the two SL6s. Got the big 4D mag light that I always use. Let's go ahead and try that mag light out. There's that little bush, 15 feet. Tree out there at 100 feet. Zoom in so you can see that better. Alright, let's try out those sparks. See how ridiculously they blow away the mag light. Alright, there you go. Nice compact little light, but you see how much is coming out of that, out of a single 18650 battery, just to make sure. There you go. That's actually the highest output. I didn't even have it on the highest output before. Ton of light coming out of this guy. And something I didn't show you before is you kind of have momentary with the switch on the back. If you press and hold it, as long as you do it for about less than a half a second, or before it starts switching modes like it just did, you actually have sort of momentary, but it's just real quick momentary. Not the traditional momentary that most people are used to. But you do have that option. So shine that around a little bit. I'm going to point it down at the ground. And I'm going to try out the XML, or not the XML, sorry, the neutral version. Just let it cycle through so you can get an idea of how these do at closer kind of distances. And there it is at the longer distances. Turn it up to the super mode. You can see why a lot of people like the neutral. Really nice colors on it. Brings out greens and browns really well. But doesn't have quite the output of the cool white. But still really good output, just slightly lower. But nice colors on it. Alright, let's go ahead and try these out at a longer distance and see how they do. Actually, before we do a distance, I want to show you what it looks like with the diffuser lens. So here is the neutral with that diffuser lens. You can see just spreads out everything, which I really like. I think the diffuser or the frosted lenses are super useful, and you can see why. Instead of that hot spot, you don't get the tunnel vision that you get sometimes at distances. It just lights up everything in front of you. And as you can tell, even at 100 feet, lights up everything really well. Alright, let's try some longer distances now. Okay, here are the two SL6s at a longer distance. Still got the 4D mag light. Let's try out that mag light first. 50 yards, my house. Tree in the front yard at 100 yards. And with this fancy new camera, you can kind of actually see that the mag light barely gets out to the tree. So let's go ahead and try the cool white first. Make sure it's on the super mode. You can see how much light is coming out of that even better at a longer distance. And we'll zoom in on the tree. That's over 100 yards away. On top of that tree, and you can see it lights it up really well. No details are missed. And you can see from the spill how wide that hot spot is, or how wide the spill is, how much light's coming out of that, not just the hot spot. Alright, there is the neutral white version, and at distance it's illustrated a little bit better, the kind of output differences that you get. So it is a little bit lower output, but a lot of people like the way that the colors look. So we'll do them side by side again. We'll have the neutral on the left, cool white on the right. Just shine them around, shining past that big tree and everything. Alright, so there you go. Those are the Spark SL6s. If you like them, you can get them from us at goinggear.com. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe. We do stuff like this all the time. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com.